Today, we are doing an updated tier list of the Series 8 Legendary Pokemon. A ton has changed since, the beginning of the series. I was wrong about a lot of things. I was right about a lot of things. But I want to kind of help you guys get situated into the meta a little bit more. We're still playing it for another full month. And Players Cup is coming up. I kind of want to help the homies in chat who qualified for Players Cup. And as well, you guys kind of know what to expect in Players Cup. So that is the goal of today. Redoing the tier list, baby. This was my last tier list. And things have changed. That is definitely what I want to say is things have changed. I made this tier list when the format was out for like a few days. I don't know. This was my thoughts and ideas going into the format and using my previous experience from formats like VGC 2016 and 2019. That's kind of how I gauged the skill level and the power level, of these Pokemon. And we've got some changes, homies. I kind of want to organize the clutter at the bottom of the tier list first. Allow me to do that. I think D tier is like memes. I think that's the best way to put it, is like they're not viable at a competitive level. Can you win games with them? Sure, you can win games with anything, dude. But they're not really that good. I think Giratina goes down to D. Giratina just doesn't do anything. Like, it doesn't do enough. I don't recommend using this Pokemon in almost any facet of the imagination. That's kind of where I go for D. Kyurem Black, I put this guy in D. You guys know I made a Kyurem Black guide, a team. We got to like top 100 on the ladder with Kyurem Black. I think Kyurem Black is honestly pretty darn good. I think he's definitely in C tier. Definitely in C. He's not D anymore. B sounds a bit too generous, IMO. But I think C is pretty good. Palkia. You guys know I big slept on Palkia. We've seen Palkia do well at a ton of tournaments. Honestly, a ton. I still personally don't like Palkia that much, but that's just my personal opinion. I can see the data and the proof that Palkia kicks some arse. I'm gonna be honest. So like, it's low A, high B, somewhere around these parts. I'll put Palkia at a high B right now. Mewtwo, I think, is in D as well. Probably like down here. I can even see Kyurem White at like the bottom of B. Kyurem White is really strong. Base 170 special attack is nothing to scoff at. I think it's base 95 speed, so it's technically faster than Kyogre, Groudon, all that kind of stuff. And that's a nice little speed tier bump. So honestly, I'd probably put Kyurem up a little bit from C. But these Pokemon aren't anything like crazy insane. Let's get into it, chat. Let's do the first big change, IMO. Let's talk about Xerneas, the deer in the room. Yeah, I was going for an elephant in the room kind of thing. It didn't work out, all right? Cut me some slack here, chat. I put Xerneas at S. Xerneas has been one of the best Pokemon of all time for as long as it has lived, okay? But here's the thing. Snorlax. I even made this comparison, but I thought Xerneas is so good, it's going to power it out. Pokemon that hard rely on setting up a certain move before doing damage struggle big time in a Dynamax meta. Snorlax has always been phenomenal. Belly Drum Snorlax, to be specific. Has Belly Drum Snorlax done good in the past? I mean, in this format, it's done okay. I'm sorry, I mean like series 1 through like 7, right? It's done okay, not really that good, kind of bad. But in past formats, it was like the best Pokemon in the format. Destruction. Nothing but utter destruction came from Snorlax. And Snorlax is struggling. Xerneas is big struggling. I genuinely think the highest I could put Xerneas is like C. Maybe like low B. No. Yeah. Ooh, I'm struggling, dude. I'm on the struggle bus here. I think it's like this. I think I'd put Lunala down here just while we're at it. There's a little bit of organization there, but yeah, Xerneas cannot get up a Geomancy safely. If it does, it's usually sacrificing a whole Pokemon on its team, which is fine. That's kind of how Dynamax works. Sometimes you have to sack them on to get into a good position. For Xerneas, even if it does get up to Geomancy, your opponent just Dynamaxes a Steel type and you get obliterated. Any Dynamax Steel type obliterates Xerneas, and you can't do anything. Xerneas doesn't get a fire move to counter them, doesn't get a ground move, so it's already running Protect, Geomancy, Fairy move. You only have room for one more move. And the coverage moves suck. You can't even go double steel. You can't even go double fairy moves because the steel types will obliterate you. Metagross annoys it, like Diagnostic in chat said. Exactly. I think if your opponent just has a steel type, they just Dynamax it at a good time in front of Xern, and Xerneas is useless. And so Xerneas is not good. Not good. Now, let's go into one more Pokemon that I think has fallen from grace. Ho-Oh. Now, I think Ho-Oh is still very solid, but I don't think Ho-Oh is deserving of the S tier anymore, homies. We've seen Regieleki completely running amok. It's just too strong. That puts pressure on Ho-Oh. Groudon has been rising a lot, and they usually run a rock move, destroys Ho-Oh. We've got Kyogre, Water Spouts, all this big support just washing away Ho-Oh. And then Landorus. Landorus T, the king, the god, is one of the best Pokemon in the format. He's base 91 speed, 1 point faster than Ho-Oh, no matter what. Your Ho-Oh cannot outspeed Landorus, unless you're Choice Scarf Ho-Oh, and that sounds pretty doo-doo. Landorus is going to mess you up with a Max Rockfall. Even if you're Chartyberry, it's not a very good item. You'd rather be running something like a Berry, or Leftovers, or Weakness Palsy, Life Orb, Lumberry, Safety Goggles, those kinds of things. Like, the Chartyberry just isn't that good. And so, I think Ho-Oh is solid, very good. I think it could still pop off in the right hands, but I don't think it belongs in the S tier. That's what I'm trying to say. Ho-Oh's gonna go down to the A tier. We will circle back to the A tier because we're gonna be shuffling things a lot here. Let's do one more Pokemon that I think has kind of fallen, and I think it's gotta be Yveltal. You guys know that I put a lot of respect onto Yveltal's name. I was like, Max Airstream, really scary. Big Max Darknesses, horrifying. Because they do so much damage off of the high special attack, the Dark Aura ability, and then it lowers your special defense. So the next one's just going to hit even harder. And it's very bulky. It's a good speed tier. But the problem with the Yveltal is it can't really hurt Zacian, the king of the format, too well. It gets Heat Wave, sure, but it's not doing that much. Zacian's faster, is just going to body you with a Behemoth Blade. Kyogre does fine with like big water spouts. Regieleki is everywhere. Regieleki just gives Yveltal such a hard time. And it's really good against Yveltal. It makes Yveltal more scared. And yeah, the dark typing doesn't hit that much too well. Zacian, once again, is amazing. So I don't think Yveltal belongs in the S tier. I think it is going to be somewhere around high A tier though. I'm not saying it's like straight doo-doo. Let's put it down here just for like organization's sake, for me moving things around. But I think Yveltal is struggling. I think Yveltal is just like Ho-Oh. You can make an amazing team with Yveltal, with the right support, playing it well, practicing really hard, and you know, working on those matchups that are really tough. But it's still scary. It's not just like as brain dead as some of these other Pokemon that just have amazing matchups into everything. You have to play carefully. We've talked a lot about the downers of the Pokemon that, you know, kind of have fallen a little bit, but let's get into some Pokemon that I think have raised. First and foremost, I think it's gotta be Groudon. I put Groudon in A. I even thought that was a bit ambitious. I was like, Groudon can't switch into Kyogre. It's just gonna get messed up on the switch-in, which it still does. I thought that Kyogre would destroy it. I thought that Zacian would just Behemoth Blade it really hard. I thought Incineroar would be doing well against it. I just kind of thought Kyogre would invalidate Groudon. But here's the thing. I still don't think Groudon is like insanely broken. This is what we have to think about, chat. Is Groudon enables some of the best Pokemon in the entire game to thrive. Venusaur, I think we all know how stupid, how strong and frustrating Venusaur, G-Max Venusaur is to play against. And here we go. Groudon enables that beautifully. Venusaur outspeeds Kyogre and just puts it to sleep or destroys it with Vine Lash. Lots of Kyogres don't even run the Ice move. They try to opt for the Electric move to hit opposing Kyogre as well, which means they can't touch Venusaur. They've only got Electric and Water. Venusaur does really well against everything on that team, kind of, on the common Kyogre teams. Does great against Incineroar. It ignores Amoonguss. Tornadus, if it's not Dynamaxing, isn't doing a lot of damage. Even Kartana, like, takes a lot from, like, Earth Powers and stuff like that. So Groudon enables Venusaur, which kicks butt. Groudon also enables Charizard, G-Max Charizard, Life Orb, whatever set you want to run on Charizard. I think we've kind of seen, lots of people who've been playing the meta right now, we have seen Zacian and Kyogre dominate the beginning of the format. And now, we've been seeing Groudon and some other Pokemon down here that we're going to talk about picking up a ton and just bodying people. Because Sun messes with Kyogre's game plan of spam Water Spout, and then the ground and fire spam that Groudon enables is what roasts Zacian. Zacian hates playing against fire moves in the sun. Groudons, Torkoals, Venusaurs with something like Weather Ball, G-Max Charizard with the fire move, just absolutely obliterates Zacian. So this was kind of the natural meta progression. Wow, it's almost like I kind of talked about how metas progress over time. Isn't that crazy? But yeah, Groudon is starting to pick up because people have built good Groudon teams that can counter these two top dogs. And that's why I think Groudon is the best. Not the best. That's why I think it's now in the S tier. It's super good because it enables all these Pokemon that can defeat the top two Pokemon. It's as simple as that. So kudos to Groudon for picking back up on the tier list. Let's go, Groudon. Now, Shadowroni. Let's talk about our next guy who I think is moving up the list a lot. I love this dichotomy of how like the Pokemon community works. So everyone was like, horses, broken, godlike, insane base stats. They've got Unnerve and the Chilling Neigh, whatever, Spectral Neigh. I don't even remember what it's called. Everyone was like absolutely broken. And then people were like, oh, we just killed him with this, that, blah, 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 blah. And then everyone's like, haha, look at all the people who said they're so good. Lol, you guys are bad. The horses suck, dude. Look at you guys, embarrassing. Well, I hate to break it to you. Players get better. Teams get better. And the Calyrex Riders have gotten better. We have seen Calyrex Shadow Rider win multiple tournaments in the last month. Obviously not the Players Cup, the big tournament that we're all waiting for, but lots of big 100-player or more grassroots tournaments. Calyrex Shadow Rider is bodying them because just as we talked about, I even talked about it, like Calyrex Shadow, if you play against Yveltal, yikes, like that's a horrible matchup. But then, like I just said, Yveltal's kind of doing badly because of the top Pokemon. Kyogre does great, Zacian slashes it up, Regieleki, etc. And that left room for Calyrex Shadow Rider to come sliding on in there. Max Quakes into Zacian, insane damage. And I think the biggest thing about Calyrex is it doesn't need to max at all. Kyogre can max at good opportunities, so can Groudon, and so can Calyrex. I think this is why these Pokemon are so good, is they don't have to. And Calyrex is another Pokemon that I think fits into the section that it doesn't have to Dynamax. Astral Barrage, huge spread ghost move. Expanding Force with something like Indeedee. Massive Psychic Pressure coming out into 2 slots. Those are both moves that don't need to max, once again. And then you've got the Mud Shot or something like that to have that big, powerful ground move to hit things like Incineroar. Zacian, right? And I think that those are really good. This Pokemon can just get completely out of control without having to Dynamax. You get one quick kill with this Pokemon, 165 base special attack at +1 from the Spectral Neigh or whatever. I'm gonna look it up. I can't remember its name. Grim Neigh. Okay, Grim Neigh, boys. All right, this thing at +1 special attack, it doesn't matter if you resist the hit. You are getting wiped the heck out. And I can't say it enough, you don't have to Dynamax. So you can just Dynamax a partner, and then you can't handle both the threats. The +1 horse next to a big Dynamax Pokemon at the same time. It's scary, and it's hard to deal with. So I feel like I've slept on Calyrex Shadow a little bit, but Yveltal's moving down. Calyrex is moving up because of that. You cannot sleep on Calyrex Shadow anymore. I think you have to respect it. Everyone's running things like Incineroar, but a lot of Incineroars right now are also dropping their Dark move. But I think at times for Players Cup, they're going to be picking up their Dark moves again because they're that scared of Calyrex Shadow. But I mean, lots of Incineroars are running Fake Out, Parting Shot, Flare Blitz, and then a lot of them have been running Taunt or something. Or, yeah, they've been running Taunt, which is a great move. Shuts down Trick Room, shuts down the Trick Room strategies with like Calyrex Ice Rider, stuff like that. But when you don't have the Dark move, this horse is ready to go in and mess you up. So, go into S, easy clap. Chat wants to talk about Calyrex Ice. And, this is another Pokemon that I think has moved up. Is climbing the ranks, baby. Calyrex Ice has been doing phenomenally. I think it is a horrifying Pokemon. Glacial Lance is nothing to, you know, underestimate. Big spread ice move that can't miss is horrifying. Ice is one of the best, like, offensive typing. I think it is the best offensive typing in the entire game. We've had to rely on moves like Blizzard, all that kind of stuff. And then ice types have been so traditionally weak in VGC that we don't really get hit by stab ice moves very much. Yeah, the water Pokemon are running Ice Beam all the time. Things like Porygon are running Ice Beam all the time. But we never really feel the wrath of that 50% boosted, you know, stab ice move. And Calyrex really lets us know the fear of that. It can set up Trick Room itself. It can get like copycat Trick Room set up with things like Riolu I've seen. It can have its partner set up Trick Room, come in later and sweep. And once again, I'm sounding like a broken record here, chat. It doesn't need the Dynamax to do a bunch of work. It can just sit there, spam the Glacial Lance while its partner, Torkoal, Porygon, I don't know, whatever Dynamax is, while Calyrex just destroys everything. And I think its flexibility is what makes it so scary. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen a team popping up right now. It's like this core of Calyrex Ice and Mimikyu. The cool thing about that is that Mimikyu is a good Trick Room setter with the Disguise ability. It's hard to really take it down in one hit. You can't take it down in one hit because of the Disguise, quite frankly. And with good team support, Mimikyu can be hard to get through. And then Mimikyu can just Shadow Sneak the Calyrex to set up its weakness policy after it gets the Trick Room set up. Mimikyu can Taunt, Will-O-Wisp, all these other frustrating support moves that you'd think you could do with something like Dusclops. But even though Dusclops is absolutely insanely bulky, it can still get clapped in one hit to some insanely strong attacks. Max Geyser from Kyogre, I bet, with like a helping hand or something, could take that out. Yveltal, Spectrier even, like Max Phantasm, stuff like that. But Mimikyu, for that one hit, just that first one, is only going to lose its Disguise and take an eighth of its health and get up that Trick Room, Shadow Sneak it. So, it's also a more offensive and annoying option since Mimikyu is kind of fast outside of Trick Room. Moral of that story is we've been seeing Calyrex and Mimikyu appearing a lot together. And I am kind of torn on if I want to put Calyrex at low S or like the highest A. This is so hard, but like, he's good. He's a good one. I think he is the top of the A tier. I don't think he kind of like dominates the meta like these guys. I think it's top of A. That's what my heart is telling me, what my Kokoro is telling me to do, and I'm gonna go with high A. I haven't really messed with these orders here, and I think I need to do that right now. Dusk, main, Necrozma, excuse me. I think it's very scary. Its stats are super high. It has a solid ability. But here's the thing, it gets intimidated and there's nothing it can do after that. It doesn't have Clear Body like Solgaleo. It doesn't have Chilling Neigh to make up for it with Calyrex. You have to kind of compare it to Calyrex, right? Where you have the flexibility of being able to set up Trick Room yourself and sweep, but Calyrex is stronger, better move pool, and can fight through that Intimidate with the Chilling Neigh. Duskmane just can't. I think Duskmane is fine. I think it is good. But I think A is a little too high. I think it is probably like here. B tier, strong. These are good Pokemon, right? Palkia. This guy. Duskmane, Necrozma, Karen White. Like, these are solid Pokemon, but they're not, like, game-breaking. I think Pokemon that have a lot of trouble with Incineroar are struggling a bit. And that brings me literally to our next Pokemon. I love Dialga. I have been a big proponent of Dialga. Is that grammatically correct? We did it. Let's go. I was doing it right. I think Dialga is sick. I think its move pool is phenomenal. Once again, broken record, can set up Trick Room itself. But the problem that Dialga has is with the stupid cat, with Incineroar. You can't kill Incineroar in one hit without help, without maybe a Life Orb, or some side weakness policy, or some cheeky, crazy strat. Like, your Max Quake isn't strong enough, you get Snarled, you get Parting Shotted, your Trick Room gets faked out, for example. And I think it just gets shut down by, like, Snarl spam, Light Screen. Dialga isn't quite strong enough to just, like, blast through those, like, big defensive options. Like, Calyrex gets the boost, just starts plowing through. Both Calyrexes, excuse me. Kyogre, consistent big water spouts, boom, boom, boom. Zacian, Intrepid Sword, big damage. But Dialga gets shut down by the repeated Snarls, the Parting Shots, this kind of stuff. And, honestly, its stab moves are not very good offensively. Like, lowering attack and boosting up your defense with Steel Spike and stuff like that are great. But, like, let's literally look at this list and see what Dragon and Steel hit for super effective. Doesn't hit Zacian for super effective. Doesn't hit Kyogre super effective. Nope. Nope. You can hit Calyrex for super effective with Steel. That's great. Nope. 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 Dragon into Palkia. Nope. Steel. It just keeps going. Like, you've already seen that I cannot hit the top 5, the top almost even 10 legendaries in the format. My stabs do not hit them for super effective. Do I have the coverage, the Thunderbolt, the Flamethrower, the Quake? Sure, but stab isn't really, it makes a massive difference. It's like you're holding a choice band. Think about that. Every time Kyogre clicks Water Spout, as opposed to, I don't even know a water Pokemon that doesn't get Water Spout. I don't know. Yveltal using Water Spout. Kyogre is effectively holding a choice spec. So Dialga's stabs are not that good. Incineroar really shuts it down. Eerie Impulse, Porygon 2. Porygon 2 is slower. If Trick Room ever gets set up, Porygon 2 drops the Eerie Impulse, done. I think Eerie Impulse is another thing that I haven't been mentioning enough. But those two Pokemon are massive glue support Pokemon in the meta, Incineroar P2, and they both really mess up Dialga. Guys, I think this is what my updated tier list would be. We've seen like a good amount of shakeups in the top tiers. I was dead wrong about Xerneas. I underrated Groudon a little bit. I think I underrated even both of the horses a little bit. I think Dialga was really good at the beginning of the format, but Incineroar has kind of been punishing it slowly. I think Palkia has been moving up the ranks. Palkia might even belong in the bottom of A tier, admittedly. I still think I sleep on Palkia a little bit too much, but yeah, guys. These are the big meta changes of the format. So I hope you guys got educated about this. For all the Twitch people here, thank you guys for watching here on Twitch. If you ever want to come join here on Twitch, links down in the description. I stream 5 days a week. It's always a fun, good time. You get to know me. I respond to your message live, all that good stuff. And drop a like, homies. Subscribe to this channel, baby. We're on our way to 2,000 subs. That's pretty cool. We're a small YouTuber chugging along, but yeah. I love and appreciate you guys for watching my content, whether it's here on Twitch or YouTube. You guys are awesome. And I will see you guys in the next video.